Good morning, YouTubers. Tsquare here with Tsquare Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Saturday morning. Got a great video planned out for you guys. So every Saturday morning, we like to take all of the Friday comments and then put them all together, answer them all, read them out loud, and kind of give you guys my opinion on what I think is going on, answering your questions the best that I can. And we do that basically every Saturday, so it kind of gives you guys a good opportunity to ask my thoughts and opinions on stuff. And we got a good amount today, so I expect it will be a longer video. Some people like the longer ones, some people don't. The good news is it is Saturday, so if you don't watch it all today, you can watch the rest of it tomorrow, or you get to enjoy your day and just kind of chill and listen in. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take because it's not planned out for say, but like I said, we have quite a few. The markets are closed right now. We have silver sitting right now at 77.69, and we have gold sitting right now at $4,966, and Bitcoin sitting right now at 69,000. Spoke too soon. 67,900. Just took a sharp drop. Cryptos generally don't seem to do very well on the weekend, so I'm really curious to see how bad it's going to get this weekend, but we'll see what happens. Before I get into reading the comments, I kind of wanted to read one thing that I had seen on Reddit, and I don't want everybody automatically assuming everything on Reddit is true. Sometimes people do word things in a unique way, and it kind of paints a wishful thinking attitude, which I do think silver's going to eventually go even higher and see a new all-time high. But some people always want to put deadlines. Oh, in 2 weeks, in 1 week, oh, next month, this, that. And it gets people hyped up. And when nothing happens, for say, then all of a sudden people just kind of get discouraged. And if you really understand what's going on, you don't get discouraged as much, because ultimately you see what's really happening. You see the prices going up. You see the demand is picking up. You see the supply is dwindling, that type of stuff. That, in my opinion, is the firm behavior of silver, essentially. And so I think we're going to see it keep playing that same pattern. And I think they're going to do everything in their power to, I guess, keep the game going as long as they can until it just goes kaput. And then either you have it or you don't. So, real quick, hold on, I got a cough. I'm catching a little bit of a cold. Real quick, I wanted to read this, though. What would happen if the credibility of the U.S. and the United States dollar, if China opened up Sunday with gold at 5,500 and silver at 120? First of all, I understand where this person's coming from when they ask a question like that. Obviously, all credibility for the dollar, for silver, for everything would be essentially kaput as well. However, it's not in China's best interest to do that. I know people say, yes, China wants to end the dollar, and I believe that they do. However, they also want to get as much real money as they can before they can't. So when you understand the fundamentals of gold and silver, you understand that China wants to get as much of it as they can. Their ultimate goal is, yes, take out the dollar, but it's also acquire as much wealth for themselves than leaving it on the table for other people to snap up. And if they decided to open up with $5,500 gold and $120 silver, that would be less time for them to acquire as much as they can. So ultimately, they want to drag this out. I mean, even if you have one more week, one more month, one more year to acquire more, you take it. You take the opportunity that's there for you and acquire what you can. We're going to read a couple comments tonight, this morning, that really show what's really going on. And I'd already kind of skimmed over some of the comments, and I was like, nice. People are picking up the dip if they have the opportunity. And they would not get these sale prices if we were still at $122. So kind of keep that in mind. And before we get started reading through all these comments and questions, please take a quick minute, help me out, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, even if it's just good morning. Since we got a lot of comments to cover, we're going to jump right in, and I'll probably remind you to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment again before the video's over. So right off the bat, the first one that I want to jump right into is Polly. How's it going, Polly? Hope you're having a great night. Hey, T. Yesterday, I got some of those Las Vegas rounds from Chris at Universal Coin. $72. That is a $50 discount from the $122 not too long ago. So I'll be on the lookout whenever there's a big dip. As you say, it's another purchasing opportunity. I hope you have a wonderful evening and weekend. Happy silver stacking. Thank you very much. And yeah, I mean, Chris over at Universal, he's got a lot of great deals. I talk about them a fair amount. That's who I buy a lot of stuff from. Do I have other avenues that I go? Yes, I do. But they're one of my favorites, I'll be honest. Right now, they're showing gold at $49.70. They're showing silver at $78.18, and they've got a lot of good deals right now. For those of you that don't know, this is the Las Vegas round that he's talking about, and this is the National Rifle Association, or NRA, back the blue, that he's talking about. $78.87 right now. So there are deals out there. So I'm always looking for the deals. If you guys haven't talked to Chris yet, I will put his information below. And you can give him a call on Monday morning now and see what happens. But it's hard sometimes to get stuff on Monday, I believe, only because Friday night we could see a big run up. And that's it. These prices will all have changed. Like I said in a previous video, I don't know how you order over the weekend. Some people, they have accounts they can just log in, I guess, and just order. But I don't have that yet. I like to talk to people over the phone. So I meant to call him again yesterday, and I forgot with everything going on. Jumping in on the next comment. Thank you so much, Polly. What is up, Troll? Hope you're having a great night. If I say night, it's because I'm actually filming this last night, and I'm reading them now. So you guys are actually watching it in the morning. But let's see. Do you think the price of silver was artificially inflated to $122 an ounce last week for the purpose of beating it down to $72 an ounce to scare people into selling or driving them out of the market entirely with such a huge dip? Like you say in your videos, they want to keep you in the system. On a lighter note, I've noticed several YouTubers that have been talking about silver state. I don't have a crystal ball. I just found that funny. Looking forward to the 6:02 a.m. video on Monday morning. So for those of you that don't know, like I said, the Friday video, then where I take my questions from, my comments from, and then I do it on Saturday morning. I don't know if that could mean because he's thinking that response is going to come back on Monday morning. Some people don't even know that I do a weekend video. They just assume it's the same as other YouTubers, Monday through Friday. I try to do more. When it seems like the videos are getting good views, I will start ramping up again. And then when the views start going down, I actually ramp down. For a while, I was doing 2 videos a day, one every basically 12 hours nonstop. But then once the views started dropping, I kind of slowed down on that. Do I think it's possible that they inflated it? I'll be honest, that thought had crossed my mind. If you know the price is going up, sometimes it might be wiser just to get in front of it and help push it up higher, only so you can all of a sudden sell it all back. That's a possibility. It's a way, it would be a strategy to break the momentum. And the momentum breaking kind of does take a lot of people off their game. It was easy because people thought the price had to keep going up. Some people even made maybe some crazy moves. Like I said, I know one person that traded an ounce of gold for 50 ounces of silver, when statistically a lot of people would say that's when maybe you should be considering reversing your position and going more for gold at that point. But I personally don't think it was a bad play yet. Looking back at it, yeah, it would have been great if he had waited another week and then he could have gotten it at 68 or almost 70 to 1. But hey, he was excited, and that happens. And, you know, I'll be honest, 122 was exciting. But, you know, we saw a beat down. It got down to $65. There was opportunity there. It did scare a lot of people out. Personally, me, I don't care how they do it. I'm going to keep looking for deals. And if I find deals, then I'm going to jump on them. As for Silver State, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see if I can Google it real quick. What is the term Silver State referring to? I haven't heard that term, actually. Silver State is the nickname for Nevada, designated due to immense importance of silver mining in history, economy, early development. The title stems from the 19th century. I'll have to look up what that means exactly, because I don't really know what that was referring to. When I hear people use that term, I haven't really heard it on YouTube. I'll be honest. It's been a busy couple days, so I really haven't been watching a lot of other YouTube videos lately, and haven't really been doing much, period. I've just been working on my own projects. But thank you very much, Troll. I appreciate that comment. Let's see, Buffalo Silver. Good morning, T. I don't even know if I answered it. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think that could be a possibility that they did that to break the momentum and hurry up and get back out. But here's the thing. When anything goes up too fast, there's always going to be a lot of people that will bet against it. And when something comes down too fast, there's going to be people that will bet on it. So who knows? But we're going to find out. I mean, no matter what, the lower the price is, the more the supply gets stripped out. So if they want to play that game and try to beat the price down, hey, it's buying opportunity for us. Supply's getting dwindled, and boom, you know. So let's see here. Buffalo Silver. Good morning, T. I have a problem getting anyone to trade silver to gold around me. I asked a few places, but they wanted 15 to 20 back of spot for silver, 1 to 3% over for gold. Okay, so let's talk about this for a quick minute. First of all, you're having a hard time trading silver to gold. So that's going to get more difficult to do as that ratio comes down. Like I said, I know someone that did trade some gold for 50 to 1. The thing you've got to be very careful of is I'm not going to sell you my silver and then buy your gold, especially if you want to try to bring the price that I'm selling it to you at under spot, and then you still want me to pay over spot for the gold. I would be very mindful of that. I would say a fair price might be you check the actual ratio, divide the gold price by the silver price, and then you may have to add on or take away 1 ounce of silver so they can make a little something. Keep in mind, an ounce of silver being $70, $78 right now. You know, that's a profit in and of itself. I know some people may not want silver. They may look at it as volatile. But I think there's opportunity out there for people. I know one person yesterday that he traded 1/10 of an ounce of gold, and he gave up 7 ounces of silver to get 1/10 of an ounce of gold. Now that's a 70 to 1, and there was a little something extra in there too. but there's always going to be something. So maybe he gave up 6.5 silvers for 1/10 ounce of gold. So there are deals out there. Keep your eyes open. It can get frustrating sometimes, and you have to look around. Not everybody is going to be in a position where they're going to find people to trade when that ratio goes up. But here's the thing. When it starts getting really exciting and the silver price really starts ramping up again, people are going to get greedy and they're going to want silver. At that point, when you see a 20-to-1 ratio, you might be able to seduce somebody into doing it for a 25-to-1 ratio. And then their greed is going to be 25%. I think it's still too early to draw out the greed because there's a lot of fear right now in the markets because of that big drop that we saw. Let's see, West, how's it going? Hope you're having a great night or day. Sorry. What I don't understand is why shops are buying so far back of spot, but they are charging 5 to 15 over spot. One dealer was paying $10 back on American Silver Eagles and charging $10 over. The spread is ridiculous. And then Chris Paul replied to that saying it's standard percentage for brick and mortar in any business. We did some running a baseball card shop, even worse when we got a great deal. So here's the thing. Not everybody's like that. Yes, some people are. I heard one guy, the other day, he was buying at $12 back a spot. So think about that for a minute. Silver at the time was $72, I think, and he was only giving $60. Most of those places that I've seen, they might be doing 5% back of spot if they're buying, and then they're charging 5% over spot. So let's just see here real quick what that would even be at 78. Clear. 78 times 1.05. So they could be buying at 78 and selling it for, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that actually. So 80, we'll say 81.90 clear, and then let's do 78 times 0.95 equals. So yeah, they could be buying it for 75 off people and then selling it for the 81. That's a pretty good spread. From what I've usually seen in the past, they'll buy $3 back, they'll sell for $3 up, and that's a $6 spread. And they make $6 an ounce. But some people understand that right now a lot of people just aren't buying. They're not buying. Some people aren't selling, and so they're getting greedy on the fewer. And I've seen this play out before in other industries. I've seen one industry where they were losing so many customers during cough that they actually doubled what they charged. And that kind of upset people and made them not want to go period anymore. But I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to cover less business and charge the people that were remaining more money, and that doesn't always work. A $15 over spot to me is ridiculous, and obviously $10 back spot is ridiculous to me. I personally would be very careful if you're selling. Look for people. We've done videos on this where it's easy to sell. Go on Facebook and sell. You offer silver at spot, you should not have a hard time getting spot price for your silver. I talked to one friend of mine the other day. He had an offer to buy a bunch of silver on the cheap. He was worried the price might come down, and it did come down, so he was correct in that statement. But when I was talking to him, I was kind of like, if you're worried about it, you buy it and you hurry up and sell it at spot price, and you make a smaller profit margin. But hurry up and do it, because eventually, if you tell too many people I'm not buying, That discourages people. Then they go look elsewhere. You want to keep customers even if you have to lower your profit margins, in my personal opinion. Personally, me, if I can find deals at spot, I take them usually, unless it's something I don't like. I'll be honest. There are hard lines that I have. I don't want, what's the term? Because I want to be careful how I say this, because I don't want to offend anybody. Certain ounces of silver have stuff printed on it that I personally don't want in my household. I don't want it in my collection. And really, no matter what the price is, I don't want it. Just because of maybe the type of artwork that it has. I draw the line on certain things. And so, but buying stuff, there's deals out there. And people are all buying on Facebook. I got one buddy, I call it waste his time. He's always scouring Facebook looking for anything for spot that he can find. So there are deals out there, but a lot of people don't want to put the effort in. They don't want to put the work in. And that is a problem. If you don't want to put the work in, don't want to put the effort in, then, hey, sell it for a big loss. I hate to say that like that. Moving on to the next comment. Chris Tribble, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you. People are starting to call in and order the poker chips. Yeah, the poker chips are really cool. That's actually Chris at Universal that left that comment. But people are calling in and ordering the poker chips. Poker chips are really cool. I showed you guys earlier in the video. And then Paulie, that was what he was talking about. Hey, Chris, I ordered mine yesterday. Thank you for all your help. Super nice guy. Chris does a lot for people and really looks out for the people that are subscribed to the channel. He's a good friend of mine. And we've actually met up a few times. We need to meet up one day and go play poker at one of the poker rooms. Let's see here. Stray. I don't know if I pronounced that name right. I apologize. Think of silver as your 401k. When you retire, you'll be going on cruises every month. I'll be living on a cruise ship, hopefully. But you're right. So I have one friend that's his attitude. He's like, dude, I really don't care what silver does. I'm like, what? He goes, you spend all your time watching it go up and down, and you stress out about it sometimes. He goes, you ain't selling. He goes, you ain't trying to sell right now, so what does it matter? And he's accurate in that statement. I ain't trying to sell right now, so I really don't care what it does. But it does get frustrating when I see things happening that shouldn't be happening. So we'll see. Time will tell. Next comment. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. Who knows such things I don't have? I doubt I said that right, but who knows? When it's a run-on word like that, I'm sitting here looking for the spaces. There's only 0.064 available above ground silver ounces per adult alive in the world today. Now, think about supply and demand. So, here's the thing on that note. There's really no way to know for sure, in my opinion, how much silver has been used. So much silver is in hiding. You don't know how much silver you have, I have, somebody else has. So they don't really know exactly how much is above ground, but we know it's low. It's lower than they tell us. I'm convinced that once silver price does really break out, they'll be digging up landfills looking for stuff, and that will be it. But there's not that much silver for everybody. If everybody decided to start trying to get into silver stacking, there's not enough to go around equally for everybody. You're absolutely right in that. And the same comment from Who Knows, get a plan and stick to it. Mine is to hold whatever I have for 10 years and swap for valued assets of whatever I can accumulate after a certain set price. The fundamentals of silver will never change regardless of magic tricks that they pull. To each their own. So price discovery is whatever two people agree to pay on whatever time and place, depending on extenuating circumstances in the world at said time and place. So, yeah, I would agree with that. The best thing people can do is just get a plan, stick to it, get to that certain magic number they're looking for, and keep working at it 1 ounce at a time. Now, one thing you had said that I'm actually reading another option right now that I've been studying, trying to look more into. How do I say this? Hold on here. So you said 10 years and swap it for other valued assets. That is a good approach, first of all. Let me say that. However, I am actually shifting now where I've been reading about where I can go, who I can go see, the best rates, on how I can borrow against my stack. Now, that is going to require that I'm going to have to give someone my stack to hold and borrow money against it. But what this does, to the best of my knowledge, I haven't fully mastered what I want to do yet. Each person has to talk to their own CPA and do this. However, I am looking into options of turning my stack over to a facility and borrowing against it, and using that money to buy my forever home or down payment on my forever home. It's something that I am kind of eyeballing right now, but I've got to figure out what the rules are and stuff, how you can even go about doing that. And I a little uncomfortable pulling it all out of my storage unit and bringing it somewhere. But, I'm just kind of reading into it right now. I don't want to have to sell it because I don't want to have to legally be obligated to pay 27% sales tax depending on where you are. And I know some people will say there's no sales tax, but there is a capital gains tax. And maybe I shouldn't say sales tax. There is technically a capital gains tax if you sold your collection and you profited off of it. Hopefully you have records if you go that route. And don't get me wrong, for the guy out there that might be selling 1 ounce a month or 10 ounces a month or a little bit here and there and just kind of subsidizing, who knows, that person can make their own decisions on what they're going to do. Let's see. And another comment, who knows? Okay, dude. It doesn't matter either way on what the dollar does. Real money is and always will be real money. Since 1971, they hijacked the Constitution temporarily, as gold and silver should be backing for any kind of fiat currency to date. This is a real scam that keeps the general public as slaves, as they rob us of our purchasing power in order to keep themselves getting richer. It's the biggest scam in history, as the corrupt media and government work in tandem to keep the magic trick going. That's why 99% of the people do not invest in silver, and you would be absolutely right. Great post. 99% of Americans have no idea in that concession, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, confederation, grant letter of, I can't even pronounce that word, coin money, out of anything but gold or silver, a tender in payment of debts past any bill, and so on and so on. I'm just going to leave it like that. In short, you're only allowed to make money out of gold and silver. Anything else is punishable by bye-bye. But obviously, they don't do that anymore. They don't follow that rule anymore, and they've gotten away with it, and they're going to continue to get away with it for the time being. Eventually, a time will come. The price is going to skyrocket, but it's going to skyrocket, I believe, due to the demand. Due to them, if they weren't playing this magic game where they just keep trying to short the price, more silver than is even out there, by shorting something they don't even have. I was actually looking at something here real quick. See if I can find it again. Oh, right here. I'm shorting silver. Where did you get the silver to short? I just made it up. I kind of get a kick out of that. I saw that and it made me laugh. So I was like, I'll probably end up sharing that at some point. But yeah, I mean, it's a robbery, and I understand people get upset about it. I get upset about it, but it is what it is, and things eventually will change, but it's not going to change by choice. It's going to change because everything's going to come crashing down. Let's see. Next comments. Silver is going lower. Okay, and yeah, a lot of people just don't care. Silver to the moon. You should be held responsible for telling people to buy silver, and now look. Get a real job. To the moon, yet the weak minds cry for free gain. So first of all, I don't say buy silver. You do what you want. Either you understand, Jason, or you don't. I don't care if you buy silver, and this goes for anybody. I really don't care. I don't care if anybody buys silver or they don't. You should be held responsible. For what? Telling you my opinion? This is not financial advice. It's called free speech. And if you don't believe in free speech, you should be held responsible. I'm sure you're out there telling your buddies to go buy Bitcoin. Some people do that. I don't care if anybody buys anything. You can just give your money to the crooked stockbrokers or the crooked Bitcoin. And let's just take a look what Bitcoin's doing real quick. Since it was on a drop, I just wanted to double check. $68,000. Yeah, I'm sure anybody that invested in Bitcoin's doing great over the last year. Down 30%. Can't say that with silver. If you bought silver at the beginning of the year, you're up $5 an ounce. $5 an ounce. If you think you're going to get rich quick, well, shame on you. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Some people don't realize that. And yes, if you bought recently, if you happen to go all in at 29, I'm sorry. If you happen to go all in anytime between the 5th of January until now, and you didn't buy this dip, you're the fool. I hate to say that. If you didn't buy any silver all the way up, because there's going to be people that are going to cry about this. I bought silver at the top for 122 and now I'm down all that money. Because you're stupid. I'm just going to say it like that. You bought in and you now are stubborn and you don't want to end up picking any at these low prices of 62 when you could cut your dollar cost average in half. That's the morons out there. And I'm convinced this is someone that Jason probably just is a Bitcoin person or is upset because when you read a comment like this, silver to the moon, this person hasn't been watching my channel. I've never said silver to the moon on this channel. But let's just take a look at something. See if I can do it right now. Probably shouldn't have done it like that, but let's just see. I always like to know this. Okay. I was trying to see. I can't do it from here. There is a way to track down every comment this person has ever put on one of my videos, but I can't do it from this computer. I have to do it from my cell phone. Can I do it here? Let's see here. Nope, that's going to do the same thing. It just, when I see stuff like that, it doesn't bother me per se, but I like to know. But yeah, I mean, some people just don't get it. You should be held responsible. Well, why? because I'm giving you my opinion and telling you what I'm investing in. If that's the case, everybody should be held responsible. Jim Cramer should be held responsible for telling people to sell their silver at $20. I mean, who you're gonna hold responsible? Everybody for everything they've ever said? I'm sure somebody will try, and they want to take away your free speech, but that's the fools out there. Let's see here. Tangled in Blue, what's up, buddy? Man, I can't even believe I forgot to send you that picture. I got a picture of a bunch of stuff for you to choose from. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend, my friend. Let's see. Joshua. Nobody with any intelligence. Oh, and back to that other thing. You said get a real job. I mean, hey, that's an opinion. What is a real job nowadays? Keep digging your ditch, buddy. Let's see. Nobody with any intelligence will be getting out of their Bitcoin position. There we go. Must be because I mentioned Bitcoin a few times. I'm drawing some Bitcoin haters. This happens every 4 years, and this was expected. Here's the thing. I always hear this term, this was expected. Many of us increased our Bitcoin holdings. I'm still buying silver as well. Joshua, I've seen your comments in here before. I understand where you're coming from. I know you're not totally against, but I got to say this, though. I'm not going to lie to you. If I knew this was going to happen with silver, I would have reduced my position somewhere in over 100. I have to wonder in my head, if you knew we were going to draw it from 127, how could you not want to reduce your position? That's the only thing I don't get. Because, over the last year, I mean, we were up. See, this is what upsets me about these charts. This chart only shows it at 124, 300. I mean, people say they know this happens, and it does. When you look at, like, the long-term chart, you can see here that it had a big spike and then it came down. Here it had the big spike and then it came down. Here it had the big spike and then it's coming down. But where does it end? Where does it end the drop? You see what I'm saying? How low will we go? And it kind of worries me. I mean, what you said, though, in your comments, I understand where you're coming from. It moved my... I'm still buying silver as well. And I think because of that, you're just... you're playing it safe. You're diversifying your funds. And I understand that. And I agree when people say that. Somebody came back and said Bitcoin isn't real money, as stated in the Constitution. And that's a true statement, but there's nothing wrong with diversifying. I mean, we all buy stuff that's not in the Constitution as money, whether it be CDs, whether it be bonds, whether it be investment real estate, who knows. All good. If you never end up using it, your children certainly will. We are still early, and I would agree with that. I just don't think, Joshua, that Bitcoin itself will be around. I don't think we're early in the Bitcoin game. I think we're early in the blockchain game, and I think we will have a new blockchain coin, a central bank coin. I don't think it's going to be Bitcoin, though. I just don't. I mean, I love the blockchain. I think it's great. I mean, part of me likes the idea of blockchain gold, especially, I mean, I would love to be buying gold and be able to spend it. There is something that I've looked at in the last couple weeks that is extremely expensive, and I don't have the down payment to buy it, and that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to utilize my coin collection or gold and silver to somehow not pay taxes on it, but not sell it, just borrow against it and get the item that I want. It is essentially a forever home / investment, but it is very expensive. And I mean, unfortunately, the way things are set up right now, it's not that easy to do. It's not that easy to convert a large amount into a huge down payment and then borrow the rest of the money. But who knows? So I understand where you're coming from on the Bitcoin portion. Okay, Chris Paul. T. The thing most people have no idea about is the same scam that run all things monetary also own the court systems. Hence the fear zero reparations. The couple pigeons they claim to have jailed for years. I would love to see proof and or what plush prison they were in. The evil out there is incomprehensible to the average mind. The MSN won't mention the weapons they use to fry victims in Venezuela. So never, ever underestimate the powers that these untouchables can inflict on something like metals. We had an incredible 2025. I'm happy with $75 considering we're at $27 in 2025. I'm not sure if that's a typo or if that means we were at $27 in 2024. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. We're in 2026. Not a typo. At the beginning of 2025, we were at $27. So very happy with that position. No one has a clue where silver and gold will go. The talking heads are always pumping their goods online. Hang in there, everyone. Those who bought sub 20 are in great shape. The bandwagoners who jumped in at 100 will endure the pain. We all did for years. It's all about patience. And, that's a really good... Chris, you always write good comments. That's a really good comment because, we held pain for a long time. We were buying under 20, and we knew for the longest time it was BS that silver price didn't go up. It might go up a little bit and then all of a sudden get flushed back down under 20. And in a way, that was good. We had a long time to stack. But some people couldn't do it. They had this mentality that they could keep it manipulated forever. Here's the thing. If they could still keep it manipulated under 20, they would. But they're not going to have any silver if they keep it under 20. In fact, I'm not convinced they're going to have any silver if they keep it in the 70s. But we'll see what happens. And you're right. The people that happen to get in over the last 30 days, they're going to feel their pain now. They're going to feel this pain. They're probably going to feel it. I hate to say, I hope I'm wrong on this next thing that I'm about to say. They may feel pain for 5 months while we jump around in the 70s, the low 80s, the high 60s. We sit here and jump around, and then we make another big push. But we'll see what happens. Great comment. I do appreciate it. Let's see here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, my friend. Good morning. Thank you so much, my friend. Living the dream. I'm not looking for feedback. 210. Hold on. Let me see what this is real quick. 210 is BS. AG is my... 2 to 10? Let's see here. AG is mined predominantly as a byproduct. Raising costs, therefore negligible effect Margin. In many cases, the cost to mine AG is 0. Source, Rick Rule. I don't really know what you mean by it. Oh, I do know what you mean by that. I had to think for a second. So what you're basically saying is most silver is a byproduct of mining other materials, which is true. But because it's a byproduct, the cost to mine it is 0. I would disagree. If the source is Rick Rule and he says it doesn't cost anything to mine silver, I would disagree with that. And I'll tell you why. Let's say for a minute, let me think of a quick analogy if I can come up with one off the top of my head. I wish I had thought about this a little bit longer. If you spend $1,000 an hour to mine something, and I'm going to use hypothetical numbers, so please, people, do not think it doesn't cost $1,000. But if you spend $1,000 an hour to run a mine, hypothetically, and you're pulling $900 worth of copper out of that mine every hour, and your byproduct is skyrocketing in value as silver has, and your byproduct is worth $300 that you're getting every hour, does it cost nothing to mine? No, it still costs $1,000 to mine. But if the silver was not in there and they were only making the $900 off the copper, the mine would go out of business. It would close down. But because they're getting the byproducts, the other metals, the other stuff that's coming out, maybe they're even using the leftover rock to make concrete or something, every single little bit that you get is a portion of money. No matter how much it's generating. Byproducts, there's a lot of byproducts and stuff. You can take a butcher. A butcher uses every part of the cow. They make the bulk of their money off certain things, maybe T-bones, ribeyes, briskets. But you know what? Even the hamburger gets used. Even the stomach lining gets used. The tongue gets used. I heard someone say the other day that some people even eat cow brains. And I'm like, what? That they eat cow private parts. I'm like, nuh-uh. I guess they call it mountain oysters. I actually lost a bet with someone on that. I said, there's no such thing, bro. You're just trying to say that. He goes, you want to bet? I said, yes. I said, I will call your bet right now that there's no such thing as a mountain oyster. And when he told me what it was, I said, maybe there is another thing called a mountain oyster, and it's, I don't know, another part of the cow, but I know they're not feeding, people are not eating those. And sure enough, I lost that bet. And then I seen it in a movie, an old, oh, wow, you must really like those. You set the new record. I can't even remember what movie it was. It was just a clip from a movie. You must really like those cow testes. And I was like, what in the world? So it was kind of like a little bit of a rub-in after I had lost the bet to see that. So you know, I mean, a byproduct is part of their money. I mean, yeah, they sell it. They sell it. They're factoring that in. They estimate how much they're going to get. So if Rick Rule and someone else that follows Rick Rule will have to say, do you agree that Rick Rule came out and said that it costs nothing to mine silver? I would be shocked if he said that, because I know I've watched his stuff before. He's not as maybe hardcore as some other people, but that's crazy to me. It has a cost to mine silver. If these mining companies did not get the silver, I'm convinced some of them would go out of business. They don't make enough off other stuff necessarily to, you know, make it profitable. I'm sure they enjoy the revenue that comes in from mining silver. Let's see, the pullback is not discouraging. It's the best thing that could happen at this point. The lower it goes, the more cash I can save for the next buy-in. I hope it goes to 50 so I can back up the truck for real. You're right, and that's the mentality. I'm guessing you probably didn't start stacking at 15, and you've been stacking for 10, 12 years. So I've been stacking for a while. I started stacking at 22, and I was stacking all the way through to 15. And then when the price climbed back up, I sat under 20 for a couple of years stacking, and then we went over 20 and I said I wasn't going to buy, and then we went over 30, I was not going to buy, and then we went over 40, I'm not going to buy. And all that time I just kept buying, and I kept buying, and I kept buying. I didn't buy much over 110. I picked up a couple ounces maybe here and there because I liked them, but generally I can't see paying over that. But you know what? When the silver price goes up to 140 and I see a deal for 130, I'll probably get it. The only thing that saved me from buying at these high prices that we had seen was the fact that I ended up using my credit card, 0% interest for a year, and bought a bunch of it at 32. And so I kept telling myself, okay, I'll pick up stuff, but you can afford to cut back, and the money you should have been buying silver with now, you put that to the credit card before it comes due. Because like I said, one of my subscribers that had been following that story said, dude, that's going to catch up to you a lot quicker than you think. Before you know it, it's going to be upon you. And you know what? It is now 4 months away, and I still owe a good amount. So we're going to see if I catch that. I'm hoping to pay it off right at the deadline is what I'm looking at now. But now I am actually watching the clock count down, and I'm like, oh boy, I hope it comes before I have to sell. I definitely don't want to pay interest on anything owed at high interest rates. Let's see here. Okay, Donnell. I'm probably the only one that isn't discouraged by the drop in price in silver. You're not the only one, because that's the next comment right after that previous one. You know what this means for me? I get to purchase more silver with $100, and to me, that's pretty sweet. For the simple fact that we as stackers, we all know that these low prices won't last forever. And when it goes back up in price, we will all make out like fat rats. So if you can hold for as long as you can and don't sell not 1 ounce unless it's extremely dire that you need to, okay, everybody in the chat, I hope y'all take care. God bless y'all. Auntie, you are the man, like always. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you saying that. So yeah, I mean, that's a common consensus. I think a lot of people that are still stacking, still trying to acquire a bunch, they like the dip. Right now, I'm a little tighter on it. I'm using my extra funds to pay down that card so I don't have that debt hanging over me. I'm also looking at borrowing somehow, if I can figure it out, the money to get a large purchase, and I'm willing to pretty much sell anything I got, give up anything I got to get it, but it might be out of my price league. I did have someone say, you're a dreamer, dude, looking at something that expensive. But it is what it is. You got to have dreams, right? That's what gets us through the day. Let's see. Battle Cryptologists. We'll get over this paper price collapse, and the true price of silver will shine. Just look to the overseas prices for confirmation. Long-term holders are good to go. The big banks will never allow true price discovery, someone said, and no, this isn't different. They always have, and always will control the price with the click of a mouse. I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. So, first part of that, I'm going to say we'll get over this. We will get over this. And the price overseas, though, is not what it was, what people think. I mean, the price overseas right now, the spot price overseas, we're going to say $82. The spot price here in the United States right now, we're going to say $78. You're talking essentially a $4 or $5 difference, depending on if you're counting pennies. $4 or $5 difference, it's not as big as it was. And yes, there's premiums here. There's even bigger premiums there. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But as I go through, big banks will never allow true price discovery. Here's the thing. If they could have kept it under 20, they would have kept it under 20. And here's the thing. Some banks are breaking ranks. Rumor is JP Morgan is now liquidating its short position. It does not want to be short on silver. They see the upside potential bigger now than the short potential. Some banks still think that they can play this game. If they start dividing, that's it. It's game over. Whether they divide to choke out other banks or they divide either way, I think they understand what happened with GameStop, and I think they know if the people start getting involved, that's it. It's game over. They can make just as much money with the price going up as they can with the price going down, and they can profit very well off these beatdowns. So they're not really worried about it. Okay. Next comment. Let's take a look here. John. Okay. Good video, T. I bought a little on Wednesday. When I left the house, silver was $90. When I got to my coin shop, it was $85. Now I wish I would have waited a day, but I'm not worried about it. I will retire in 2030 and can't wait to see what silver price is then. Keep stacking, my friend. And who knows, said always. Yes. Wow, that's nice. Me and you got about the same retirement date. I know some people tell me. Let me readjust my seat. I kind of slowly, when I'm making these videos, I slowly start slipping down on my seat until I'm like basically on the floor. And then I got to stand all the way back up again and readjust. 2030, I would say we're pretty well on par. By 2030, if the world is not in total chaos and war, I'm hoping to be in the Philippines by that point, but we'll see what happens. It's still 4 years away. Hopefully the silver and gold price will be a whole lot higher, and I'll have a good generating income, but we'll see how that plays out. Yep, and that's it really on that one. It'll be exciting to see what the price is. But like you said, yeah, it would have been nice if you had waited another day, but who cares? I mean, you picked up some at 85. Really, I won't say it's tough to find it at 85 right now, but what's Universal? Because like I said, Universal usually has the cheapest. I mean, you're going to pay, $79, and I bet you by the time the market's open, we could see a little bit more of a jump, and then we're up to 80. Before you know it, that's it. So not worried at all about what's going on. Let's see here. Can't pronounce that name. I apologize. HORCSOOGG. Let's see. A very cautious pump today, but I have a feeling next week is going to keep dipping below 60. I just hope it friggin' stops there and we don't go below 50. And yeah, I agree about the amount of people that are taking profits. Many think silver and silver miners are just gambling compared to gold and don't trust it. I have $10,000 in PSLV and lots of silver miners, and my account went down 74,000 to 48,000 now in just a week. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I lost a good amount too. Enough that I don't even want to say it right now. Although, if we went down to the mid-50s and the long needle down touched the 200-day moving average, that would be extremely bullish. Yes, if the price plunges to the 200-day moving average, which I don't even know what the 200-day moving average is right now exactly. I'll have to pull that up. I'm curious what it is right now. That's usually extremely bullish. Most people don't see it breaking under the 200-day moving average. Just the fact that if it hits the 200-day moving average, some people believe would catapult silver a lot higher. But we'll see what happens. I mean, like you said, I'm just going to keep stacking. I don't think we'll see a breakdown again next week. I think that as they get closer to the next delivery date, they're going to realize that supply is draining. Unless they're going to let it go and do force majeure and just settle everything out in paper. But if they do that, it's going to get ugly. It's going to upset a lot of people. And they're not worried about the upsetting, but it's also going to cause lack of trust. And they do have a problem with that. Let's see. Looks reasonably steady to me. Still ups and downs, uncharted territory, many corrections, but precious metals still up, holding mostly. Gold above 4,000, silver above $50. Many stackers are still doing very well, except for me, that had the boating accident and had mentioned. Yeah, that sucks. A lot of people are losing their silver in boating accidents. I mean, it's just part of life. It happens. I think that's the most common thing that happens to people's silver. I mean, that's why they can't get an accurate count on how much silver is really out there, because it's all been lost in boating accidents. Let's see, Gregory. Good morning, T. This is a great time to pick up silver on the dip. I think everyone should pick up some junk silver if you can afford it. Yes, definitely. I'm always picking up a little junk silver if I can. There's opportunities out there. Stackers, it's going to 40. Okay, and yeah, I mean, if it goes to 40, who cares? Is it going to change anything? Is everybody going to sell their position if it goes to 40? No, I think people would just be doubling down and buying more. I mean, at 40, I'm sorry, I would be trying to take a line of credit against my house and probably just bet it all. It is what it is. That would be what I would be doing, not recommending anything, not financial advice. I'm just saying I would gamble my financial future on $40 silver. Let's see, Richard. Good morning, all stackers. I have a tip for you. Did you know some pawn shops do layaways? Mine doesn't charge fees, just down payments and pick up within 30 days. So, yeah, I found out about that a little late. I had a chance one day to pick up an ounce of gold when it was $2,000. And someone's like, dude, how come you didn't put it on layaway? I said, what do you mean? Layaway. I didn't think people even did layaway anymore. I remember layaway when I was a kid. I remember my mom used to lay away toys and stuff that she needed, and she'd pay her little, $10 a week or whatever at Kmart. But I didn't know pawn shops did that until not too long ago, about a year and a half ago, I think. It was back when silver was $2,000, and then when I found that out and went back, the coin was already gone. The guy's like, I'll sell it to you. It's 1 ounce. Spot price is $2,000. I'll sell it to you for $2,000 right now. I wished I had put it on layaway. If I knew about layaway, I would have. I heard my pawn shop does not charge, because I asked him about this after. He said, no, we do layaways. As long as you put down 10% today and you put it on layaway, you make your payments, and that's it. And you don't have any fees or anything associated with it. I was like, that's pretty cool, really. So yeah, that's a good tip, actually. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. Pawn shops, putting stuff on layaway, if you can find a good deal, there's opportunity. Let's see. Partners, don't confuse the price with value. Yeah, I mean, silver has real value. When the value of the dollar goes down, it's nice to have physical silver in your stack. I kind of lost my spot for a minute. They say they say no thing and do the. They say one thing and do the opposite, or they say one thing and do nothing. That is what we hear the rich do, the elites. They tell you don't buy silver, and then they go and buy it. So yeah, I would agree with that. Let's see, BJ. Call me crazy, but I'm still buying the dips. Not a lot, but every $5 face value roll of 90% mercury dime adds up these days. I remember buying 3 rolls for what I am buying 1 roll for today. Those were the days. Smiles. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Picking up stuff, it's getting a lot more expensive, but we got a nice little dip right now, so who knows? Let's see. Lack the silver stacker. Hey, T, did you watch Johnny Bravo's? He's extremely good with the charts. I do watch him. According to him, it's going to drop back to 48 to 50. It's being valued in our shitty dollars. This is just like the 1930s. So if you watched Johnny Bravo's video yesterday, he says that it's actually going to retrace up to the $90 level, and then you should sell. If you have his program, he is saying he's saying it is going to retrace to the $90 level, and then you should sell out at that point. I'm wondering if he's right. I don't buy his program. I don't spend money on that type of stuff. I'd rather just look at the charts myself. It's nice to have a computer tell you what to do. But personally, I don't spend money like that. I don't spend money on anything. But I do watch his videos all the time. And I always give him a thumbs up. And hopefully everybody watching this video right now is giving a thumbs up on this video, especially if you made it this far. Even if you don't like me, I mean, hit that thumbs up button twice if that's the case. Okay, yeah. I see where some people are thinking we could go back down to 50. I don't think that's going to happen personally. I think supply is getting bought up. The only thing that scares me a little bit is I don't want to wait 5 months in this price range like we did in 2008. 2008, we had a major plunge in silver price, and it lasted 5 months before it started rocketing up again. I don't want to give up 5 months of my life just sitting here at this price. I know it's great buying opportunity, but you know what? Some of us already have ours. Ctribble saying, I saw that. Yep. He does do good videos. He was not, some people don't know this unless you've been watching him before, he was not a silver stacker before. But that doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. The more people that talk about this, the more he has a big following. And if his following starts buying silver, that's it. That's it. That's what it takes. It takes these big YouTubers to start talking about silver, and then before you know it, boom, the price just explodes. Real quick, there's controlling the market, so they're setting the price without confiscation. So I actually talked to someone yesterday about that. He said the same thing. He said they're pushing the price down to discourage people because they know there is no way they're going to do confiscation. It would cause major events. I don't think it would cause major events. I just don't think people would give it up nowadays. Anybody that had the foresight stack silver, if they ain't giving up their pew-pews. They ain't giving up their herbs. They're not giving that up their silver. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, shaking out the weak hands. There's a lot of people that are weak, that don't understand what's going on, and they'll give it up. It's just like stacking food, lead, fuel. Do you care what the price is after you bought it? No. The point is you have it. And that's exactly right. I really don't care what the price is on anything. I've got it. It can sit there. Make sure you're preserving your food. I know one lady that she went out and bought tons of pasta, and before you know it, she had weebles in her rice. She had roaches in her macaroni, and she regretted ever prepping. But she started it when the whole cough started. She wasn't really into it. She just jumped into it, spent a bunch of money, and didn't really know what she was doing. You got to be careful if you do that. But I definitely would focus on your preps right now. Be prepared. Whatever could come this way may. Good morning, T. If I could subscribe again, I would. I'll be supporting you until the end. It looks like we have hit the bottom and turning around. Never trust the big players, but we should move up to new all-time highs. Someone said it doesn't matter. Real money is still real money. And that's absolutely right. I mean, I think we'll move up. I think we'll start moving up. I worry a little bit, like I said, because the Bravo 9 says it will go to 90 and then start coming down again. However, that is only right 70% of the time, which is good. 70% of the time being right is good. When you're wrong 70% of the time, like Jim Cramer, then I would worry. But 70% hit is good. I mean, you know, but it also means it may not stop at that. It could keep going higher. So we'll see. I've got to wonder, am I being emotional and making my decision with emotion because I've got a lot invested in it? It's a possibility. But who knows? We'll see. Time will tell. And here's the thing. Even his program using the Bravo 9, not only is it not guaranteed, but it can change as the price starts climbing. If it slowly climbs up, that could change and his outlook could be more bullish when that time comes. I mean, granted, if it goes straight up in the next couple days, when the market opens back up, then it may stick. But we'll see what happens. Let's see, still holding. Yesterday was the first day I felt like, wow, did I make a mistake? But I woke up today and I'm feeling pretty good. I did buy 50 dimes though. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Stack a little at a time. You don't have to go all in. Who knows? Maybe Johnny Bravo himself will see this video and comment. That'd be pretty cool because he literally is not far from me. I am actually in his area 4 times a year. So he ain't far from me at all. It'd be cool to meet up with him. Let's see here. Good morning, T. I'm still buying very small amounts of silver, 75 and change at Kitco this morning. At 7:15 Central Time. Yeah, I mean, the price is looking good. We closed out the day at 70, I might as well say 78, 77.69. I'm good with that. We went up $7 almost today. 9% jump. We're going to see a lot more volatility. You saw how quick it went up here. There's nothing saying it can't go up just as quick. Anything that can fall in a day or two can go up in a day or two. So we'll see what happens. Okay, this next one's going to be interesting. I can already tell because a lot of people commented on it. I'm switching to gold. Silver is beyond manipulated. Silver is too useful. I'm kind of reading that. I'm switching to gold, but silver is beyond manipulated. Silver is too useful. They have to have it cheaper or society stops. Like oil needs to be between 60 and 80. I can see it now clearly. Gold kept most of our gains as well. The end game is gold. Somebody else said exactly, my friend. Get out while you can. People are naive enough to think that the banks will let us have our cake and eat it too. Not going to happen, folks. Just look at this way. Silver peaked at roughly 50 in 2011. Today, it's 72. It has risen $22 in 14 years. Talk about cherry picking numbers. And that's okay. You can. I mean, I could cherry pick numbers too, though. Remember that. If you can cherry pick numbers, I can cherry pick numbers. Let's cherry pick what silver started at last year and see what it did this year. A year ago today, silver was $31. Now we're more than doubled in 1 year. Gold, a year ago, was at $28.42, and now we're only up $2,000. We're up, what, 66% roughly, if I said that right? I don't know the exact numbers, but we haven't doubled. We'd have to be at $6,000 almost, 58, to be there. We're not there. So, I mean, if anybody can cherry pick numbers. That comment, in my opinion, where the heck is it? Okay. That comment, in my opinion, bro, you chose the all-time previous high, and you're comparing it to today. You could also cherry pick the numbers of it was at 50 in 2011, and it was at 122 last month. I mean, up another 100 and something percent. So, anybody can pick any numbers and cherry pick it. It's risen $22 in 14 years. Yes, you read that right. 14 cherry-picked years. I'm going to add that cherry-picked in there. Let's see. You missed the point. It's a win. It's a win-win scenario. When fiat crashes, silver is still purchasing power. It is and always will be real money. Never forget that. So, you cannot lose with silver. Don't look at it as compared to the dollars. That's the magic trick that manipulates most people who are zombified on consumerism controlled by the government and mainstream media. The Constitution says that money shall be backed by gold and silver. Nixon said that money was to be taken off the gold temporarily. Yeah, we know how that played out, temporarily. That's a really good point. People just don't understand. It doesn't matter what the dollars are if they don't buy you as much. We did a video in our fundamentals videos where we used a house as a reference point. Then we used today's houses as a reference point. And silver bought you essentially the same house today as it bought you back then. There have been time periods where it fluctuated a little bit. But generally, silver has always had the value of a house. So comparing apples to apples is not the same as comparing apples to oranges. Once you realize that, yes, the magic trick is they're all looking at dollars, and the dollars themselves are worth less today. So who knows? We'll see. I understand where you're coming from that. Donald, stop simping. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see here. Oh, but we actually have a comeback comment, so I'm curious to read that too. And how long have you been in the market? I've been doing this for 15 years, he said. I'm pretty happy with my purchases over the last years. I don't know about you. I've been in this probably since 15, I think. I've been doing this for 11 years. And every purchase that I've ever made is worth more today, except for maybe a couple purchases that I made in the last month. So I'm not worried at all about it. Let's see. Walks with one. Look at whatever stock. Go back a year on it. See where they were then. Look at silver. Go back a year and see where it was at, and see what is a better investment. The 90%, 40%, 35% are worth looking into for some great deals. There's always a deal hiding out there. I had someone tell me yesterday silver is going back to 20. I said, I doubt that. But if it does, I'll really be able to stock up. Yeah, if it goes back to $20, I will laugh my butt off, and I will basically be buying at such a rapid pace. But I don't think I'm alone. I think everybody will be. I think people will be pouring their money in at 20. And it will be insane. It really will be. Hot-headed. What's up, buddy? Hope you're having a great one. No big company has ever had a problem getting silver. Even if that happens, the government will restrict or stop the amount of general public is allowed to buy now that silver is on the critical minerals list. Means government controls and nothing else. Someone else said that makes perfect sense. And it does make sense. And we'll talk about that, actually, because that's a good comment to talk about. Bottom line, a lot of large industry players are expressing pressure from the tight silver supply. Yep. They place an order. The order comes in. Where's the pressure? What is meant by pressure? It is available. So let's talk about this, actually. Because yes, they do get their silver. Big industrial demand is prioritized. However, they may be prioritized, but they are feeling the pressure. The pressure is they're having to pay a lot more for it. But here's the thing. They don't care how much they pay. And yes, if they want to put restrictions on it, it will make it where people like us will be limited on if we can even buy it. But what will happen then? If they put restrictions on it, you will see the refineries will still be buying. They'll still be buying from the We Buy Gold places. But the We Buy Gold places won't sell to the refineries at cheap prices. If the public can't get their hands on silver, they will simply pay more to get their hands on it. That's where the premiums come into play. We've seen time and time again the We Buy Gold, We Buy Silver not selling to the refineries for multiple reasons. What are some of the reasons? Time delays on payouts, not being paid enough, being able to get more money selling to individuals than essentially the refineries. Silver is always going to go to the person that's willing to pay more money for it. That is true supply and demand. They can manipulate the price down until they don't have the silver to do that. And then the price will solve everything. I'll give you an example. If they all of a sudden can't get the silver, then what happens? Then questions come up. I don't get it. Silver's at $80. Why can't I get physical silver? Because people want 90. Okay, we'll pay the 90. That's the end of it. But, people don't understand. If they could keep the price of silver down, they would have kept it at 20. There's no reason for them to want to bring it up to 75. Why not keep it at 20 forever? Because they can't. They're running out. And that lies the problem. If it wasn't for the fact that they're running out, they could keep this game going forever. But we'll see. Time will tell what will happen. Taking a look at the next comment. That spike to 120 seemed way too high, way too fast. I would agree with that. I think 60 to 80 range is about where we should be based on where we were just a few months ago. I'd like to see slow and steady climbing rather than shoots to the moon and back. Someone else said it doesn't matter. Real money is real money. I like how some people are commenting that same thing. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It happened fast. We saw that climb so rapidly. However, it could also be because people are willing to pay to get their hands on it. And when people get scared and all those dollars flow into sound money assets, that's when that's it. I mean, it's going to get crazy. But I see where you're coming from. It did happen fast, and it does raise questions about, was it rigged? Was it this? A lot of people don't like this huge volatility, and I understand all that, and I agree. I don't like it either, but it is what it is. We've got to deal with it. We should all keep holding. I'm buying in these dips for these great videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, my friend. I can't thank you enough for that. Okay, good buying price if you can find inventory. I got a pile of cash and nothing to spend it on. Everywhere I look, the purchase amount is limited of out of stock. So, yeah, a lot of places are out of stock. There's deals out there if you look around. If you don't mind buying online, waiting a little bit, you can find some deals out there. But I know some people don't like to buy online. They don't want to be in the system, have an account created, all that. Looks like everything across the board is down. Stocks, cryptos, precious metals, not worried at all. Heading to the local coin shop today. This is a gift for those who are still accumulating. Yes, buy the dips. It will shoot sky high again soon. So, yeah, I mean, I'm picking up the dips when I find them, looking for opportunities. Some people aren't. And if you aren't, hey, that's okay. Hopefully you already have yours. Let's see here. Morning tea and fellow stackers. I managed to find a couple good deals yesterday online. My local coin shop was closed. He told me just hard to keep up with the volatility right now. Yeah, that's what I feel bad about. That's a common from a lot of people. The volatility is squeezing people. It takes time. Stuff does come in, and when it comes in, that's it. Let's see, Doctor Detroit. New stackers, if you are watching spot silver price frequently, you are not a stacker. You are a trader. You have no business whatsoever stacking. You are a complete fool if you do. Metals are not a place to watch for the price stability. Look at the Blanken history charts. It will go up, it will go down, volatility, and stay flat for decades while other assets all rise up around them. Get real or get out of metals. This is not a place for newbies or foolish idiots looking to make a quick buck. Man, this one's a little more confusing too. I'll tell you why in a minute. This is what crypto is for. If you want long-term, and I mean very long-term appreciation, then metals is a good place for you. Otherwise, get out of them. You're welcome. So I'm reading this comment. I'm trying to figure out if you're like pro silver or you're against silver. Because you said some things that's true. You're not going to get rich quick overnight with silver. It takes time. It really does. It's a slow road of wealth. It's building wealth slow and steady. And yeah, you do see the price dips. Though, on the other hand, I watch the price every day. I'm excited about the price. I get excited. I want to see what it's doing. I don't consider myself a trader because I'm looking at the price every day. I am holding. I'm not selling. I just like to look and see what I'm worth each day. I would not say necessarily if you want long, or how did you say it? You're going to be waiting a long time for decades while everything rises above it. I would disagree with that. We seen last year silver beat out every other asset, so I'm not going to say everything goes above it. But yeah, it is a slow roll. Don't try to get rich quick with silver. It's not going to happen. You might get lucky and see a nice jump, but you're going to get rich. You're probably not going to get rich. Let's see, Pete. Good morning, T. Definitely buying the dip. Absolutely. That's my thoughts too. If I can find good deals, I'm picking it up. Morning, T. Morning, everyone. Welcome new members. Proofs are on sale compared to bullion. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of good deals right now on collectible stuff. Excuse me. A lot of people are cashing in collectible stuff. That stuff hits the market and boom, you can pick it up relatively cheap. I seen someone, like I said, trade yesterday 7 ounces for essentially 1/10 of an ounce of gold. He gave a couple nice collectible items. So there are deals out there. Okay, we're winding down. Good morning, T, and everyone. Welcome new members. Oh, I just read that one. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Unknown, for that comment. Sean, honestly, I'm hoping for a Good Friday smackdown into the 60s again. I was working yesterday and missed that low. I'll be watching today for the deals in real. Let's see. Someone said, check Johnny Bravo. His charts are at 48-ish. Yeah, but that was 2 days ago. His charts now, he's saying we're going to retrace the $90 level and then we're going to get crushed. I guess, get crushed could mean get crushed down to 48, but I'm not worried about it again. Good morning. Still no worries here, my friend. Exactly. Happy Stacker. You've came a long way, bro. From that kid, or I don't know if I say kid because I don't know how old you are, but you've came a long way from that person that wanted to. You came a long way from being the reluctant stacker that shot me an email wanting to sell your inheritance. I'm really glad that you have wisened up to it because you wanted to sell at what, 25 was it? When it was at $25, you inherited the majority of it and you just watched it just climb and climb and climb. I'll bet you buy silver too now, not just have an inheritance, but you're an actual stacker picking up stuff when you can, where you can, looking for good deals. Let's see, Alan, good morning. Good afternoon. Alan. I actually had something I wanted to tell you. I got your email. I think it was you, because you changed your name. I'm going to have to look into some of your previous emails real quick. There was a reason why I was thinking about something yesterday in that email that you sent me. I don't really want to say it on here, but we'll leave it at that. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Definitely exciting. Thank you so much for watching, Alan. I appreciate your comments. With that being said, that is the end of the comments. We've answered them all. It takes time. I enjoy doing it. Let me see how much time we have real quick. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Not super long. It was a little while. Take a look at Reddit for a few minutes. It's the weekend. You got opportunity. Keep in mind, for those of you guys that have been stacking for a while, there are a lot of good deals out there to trade with people. I know one person that needed some ammo not too long ago. He traded some of his silver for some actual ammo. Oh, so this is something worth talking about. 21 days until the COMEX fails. I actually follow him a lot on another channel. When he was on Moneko, I'd always listen to him. I think his name's Clyde Thompson. I don't like when I see posts like this though. 21 days until it fails. I mean, maybe it will fail in 21 days, but we've heard this time and time again. People watch this. Delivery notices. A lot of people are going to want to take physical silver. Could they fail? Yes. But is it a guarantee? No. I mean, it's a good chance we'll see the price climb to try to draw in a bunch of silver. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If it does fail, that's it. The price is going to go to the moon if it fails. But I think something will happen. Probably right around that same time period, that 21-day time frame. I don't know. Some kind of civil unrest, some kind of major issues, something to take our mind off of what's really going on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't bet everything you have on 21 days to happen. I like listening to this guy, but be very careful if you're betting everything on a time frame. That's why a lot of YouTubers, they won't give time frames. They're very cautious to do that. I guess that's it for today. I think that's going to conclude our weekend video. Hopefully y'all hit that subscribe button. Hopefully y'all hit that thumbs up button. Left me a comment, even if it's just good morning. It helps the algorithm. And with that being said, that is it for today's video. I probably won't have a video up on Sunday, so see y'all again on Monday. But I may go live this weekend. We still got Saturday and Sunday. I kind of wanted to do something with the Super Bowl, but I didn't realize the Super Bowl is actually tomorrow. I didn't realize it was as close as it is. So kind of keep your eyes open for any surprise videos this evening. We still have our January event we've got to run. So probably do that on that. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, commenting, and I will see you again on Tsquare Talk. Oh my word, it's 3:15. I didn't realize the time. It's 3:15 a.m. No wonder I'm tired. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. If you get a quick minute, click on one of these links. Check out one of these videos. Putting 3 of them up that are good videos. If you haven't seen them, definitely check them out. And I will see you again on Tsquare Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.